Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that tries to cut through all the noise, the information overload, and really pull out the important stuff for you.
Glad to be diving in.
Yeah, so today, we're going deep on something ancient. But it feels, well, incredibly relevant. We're looking at a single verse from the Isha Upanishad.
Just one verse, yes. But it's packed.
Exactly. It feels like an ancient cure, maybe, for that very modern feeling of never quite having enough or being enough, that something's missing.
That constant striving, yes. This verse offers a really radical shift.
That's what grabs me. Thousands of years old, but it could potentially rewire how you see desire, possession, even yourself. It promises to change, everything you see.
It's amazing, isn't it, how a few lines of Sanskrit can hold that kind of power. Our deep dive today is, as you said, into this profound spiritual text, the very first verse.
Okay.
And despite being so short, the message is, it's simple on the surface, but incredibly potent. It really could shift your whole perception of the world.
Let's get into it then. The verse kicks off with Ishavasyam, idam sarvam, yatkinyaka jagatyam jagat. Now, that sounds profound just on its own.
It does, and the weight it carries is immense. The standard English translation is something like, all this, whatever moves in this world, is pervaded by God.
Pervaded by God, that's the core then.
That's the absolute core. A unifying supreme consciousness is present in everything. And it's important here. God doesn't have to mean a bearded figure in the sky, right?
Right, not necessarily a religious figure in the traditional sense.
Exactly. Think of it as, the fundamental essence, divine consciousness, the underlying energy of everything. Call it what you will.
The point is it's everywhere.
Everywhere. Not just in temples or special places. It's in the trees, the sky, your neighbor.
Your breath, you said earlier. Every grain of sand.
Yes. And this isn't just pretty poetry. The Upanishad presents it as a statement of fact, a spiritual declaration about reality itself.
Let's dig into the words themselves. Isha and Avasyam. What do they tell us?
Good question. Isha basically means Lord or ruler or supreme consciousness. And Avasyam, that means to dwell, to clothe, or to pervade.
So putting that together.
It suggests something like, this entire universe is clothed in the divine or wrapped in the divine. It's a powerful image.
Wrapped in the divine. So God isn't just an outside creator who made the world and then, stepped back.
Precisely. That's the radical part. God, or this consciousness, is the universe. It is the fabric of reality itself.
Wow.
So the rivers, they aren't just flowing by God's permission. They flow with God, as God, in a sense.
The fire burns with God.
Yes. Your own heartbeat. That's this universal consciousness pulsing through you. It's fundamentally non-dual. It dissolves that separation we usually feel.
That really does reorient everything. Okay, so if we absorb that, really take in that idea that everything is permeated by this consciousness, the next logical question is, how do I live like that?
Right. Doesn't mean I just ignore my bills or...
Exactly, but the verse anticipates that, doesn't it? It continues. Tyanatyaktana bunjita, magata kashyas vidhanam. What's this part telling us?
This is where the rubber meets the road, practically speaking. It addresses that never enough feeling directly.
Okay.
The translation is along the lines of, enjoy the world through renunciation. Or maybe better, enjoy the world, but without attachment or greed. Don't covet anyone's wealth.
Don't covet.
For nothing is truly yours or mine. That's the punchline.
Wow. So it's an invitation to shift from thinking in terms of ownership to thinking in terms of oneness.
Yeah.
Exactly. Think about how much anxiety comes from comparison, right? Scrolling through social media, seeing what others have.
Yeah, the constant measuring up.
The Upanishad basically says, if everything is infused with the same divine essence, then comparison is. Well, it's kind of absurd. It's a self-inflicted wound, that other person you envy. Fundamentally, they are also that same essence, just showing up differently.
That doesn't just bring peace. It sort of dismantles envy at its root.
Potentially, yes. So if we really try to live this, shifting from ownership to oneness, how does that actually look day to day? What changes for you, the listener, in just normal life?
It's fascinating because the text suggests that when you genuinely see this unity, when you perceive that divine essence everywhere, things like jealousy, ego, that strong sense of me versus them, they naturally start to fade.
Because the lines blur.
The lines blur. If nothing is ultimately mine or yours in that separate sense, what's there to covet? What basis is there for jealousy?
But it's not about being cold or detached.
No, not at all. That's a common misunderstanding. It's actually about a deeper, maybe more joyful engagement with life. Think about, say, a musician pouring their soul into playing.
Okay.
They enjoy the act of playing, the music flowing through them, but they don't necessarily own the music in some ultimate sense, right? It's a gift, a flow.
Mm-hmm.
You appreciate the river, use its water, enjoy its beauty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't own the river,
Applying that perspective to everything.
even for a moment. It can transform your relationship with your job, your possessions, your relationships. It leads towards a kind of inner freedom.
This is thousands of years old, but it feels incredibly challenging to modern life, maybe more now than ever. How does this ancient wisdom stack up against our society's focus on, getting ahead, accumulating stuff, drawing lines between us and them?
It's a direct challenge, isn't it?
Mhm.
A powerful counter-narrative. We are so conditioned to create these divisions. Mine versus yours, winning versus losing, even sacred versus ordinary.
Right, we compartmentalize.
And the Isha Upanishad just erases those lines boldly. It declares there's no real outside and inside, no truly holy versus unholy ground. It's all this one divine consciousness.
Which makes you ask, well, where do all our divisions come from then, if reality is unified?
Exactly. And it clarifies that critical point again.
Yeah.
This isn't about renouncing the world in the sense of running away to a cave.
It's not about withdrawal.
No. It's about seeing the divine in the world. Living with humility, sure, but also with balance and joy, right here. Fully participating, but from a different internal space.
So engaging more deeply, seeing the sacred in the everyday. Okay, for someone listening, maybe struggling with that not enough feeling,
Yeah.
how do they start? How do you actually integrate this? Not just think about it, but live it.
Yeah, the practical application really comes down to consciously shifting your perspective, moment by moment.
Mm.
Little shifts,
Like what?
like trying to see the sacred in every interaction,
Yeah.
even the difficult ones. Recognizing that shared spark, that same essence in the person who cuts you off in traffic or the cashier at the store.
That's hard.
It is hard, but it's a practice. It also means using things, your phone, your house, your skills, using them well, appreciating them, but without that fierce clinging. Understand they're part of the flow, not permanent possessions that define you.
Honoring life as a gift, not a possession.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
And consciously working on releasing, well, greed, comparison, that deep-seated sense of mind that drives so much anxiety.
It sounds like a path of inner freedom, but lived right in the middle of everything.
That's exactly it. Inner freedom while fully living, actively participating, but with a different understanding of what's actually going on.
It's truly amazing how much is in that one verse, that core message, this pervasive divinity, this consciousness and everything. It really does redefine our place, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And maybe that leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to take away and just sort of
Yeah.
sit with.
Okay.
The next time you see a sunrise, maybe, or you're just holding a simple flower, or even just looking into someone else's eyes, try to remember that whisper from the sages, from this Upanishad, Ishavasyam, idam sarvam.
This unifying consciousness is in this too.
It's in this too. And maybe the most powerful part, this unifying consciousness is also in you.